We have had housing levy in Kenya. This is the third year. The same economic data shows that construction sector in Kenya is going down, not up. Not my data, government's data. Economic survey from KNBS. Now, me and you as a Kenyan are already contributing to the housing fund. You are contributing through your salary. And I am contributing. But for the generality of the economy, when 70 billion is cut from our pay slips, the economic situation in the construction sector is decelerating. So I am appealing to the government policy makers. When you see something is not working, it is good for you to come out and as early as possible stop it. Because it's very clear that the housing levy is more efficient in private pockets, not when we give this money to government. So my take for not fighting this or talking for this, objectively speaking, it is not working in spurring the economy in the sector it is domiciled. How comes when we are paying housing levy, it is the same year that we have a deceleration in construction sector, we have a deceleration in consumption of cement. It means this 70 billion is more efficient when it is Kenyans making decisions on what to build for themselves. So, what we can then do in terms of social housing to support our brothers and sisters who need our support collectively is for the government to directly allocate money for that. So that these 70 billion, we free it up. And what that is called, it is an expansionary fiscal policy. Any policy that leaves money in the pockets of Kenyans is an expansionary fiscal policy. And it works this way. If you don't cut Dan Mwangi 5,000 shillings that he's cut in housing levy, for example, that's the money he sends his grandmother. The grandmother goes to the shop and buys sugar. That sugar, government gets VAT. That velocity of money, when you cut it at the source, the grandmother doesn't buy sugar. The economic activity created around that value chain is not realized because you've cut money in quotes at the transformer level. Kama kukata stima kwa transformer. That's one issue, which is very critical. And it will benefit even the same policy makers. Because when the economic situation becomes better from the thoughts of Kenyans, then you'll have bragging rights that you made it happen. Yes. Second thing, the destitution in Kenya is unprecedented. Now, I would have thought that we stop digging the hole, we get a solution on how to get out. Now, this is what we have done. We have dug the hole deeper, but you have found that one hole is not enough. Let's start another one. So beyond the deficit that is, beyond the debt that is recorded in the government books, the government has now come and become clever and started another book at the side. That book, its first chapter, is called securitization. The money you pay through fuel, housing levy, fuel levy, it has been made as collateral. 175 billion has been borrowed from the banks. The expenditure of that money is nowhere in the budget. It is nowhere in parliament. You will not see any document submitted in the National Assembly in regards to 175 billion borrowed out of securitization. That is a scandal. And we are doing exactly what Zambia did before Hakainde Hichilema became president. By the time they came in, they realized there were two sets of debts. The debt they knew and the debt they did know. Ultimately, all these things catch up with the economy because you'll have to pay the debt you know and the one that you don't know. The last thing, We are nearing election year, and therefore politicians want to be seen to do something. Now, there is no money, or the economy has been squeezed to a level where it can't support the political projects that are needed. So we have gone to NSSF, to the CPF. We are now forcing them to invest pensioners' monies into infrastructural projects. They are christened as very nice names called PPPs. But this is monies that belong to the pensioners. Then they are told, you'll put a toll on the road, then the toll you get, you recover your money from there. Lina, there is only one case we have of a PPP road in Kenya, which is expressway. The 20-something kilometer road made a loss last year. That is the only business case you have to study whether a PPP can work. It made a loss. Then you are forcing pensioners' money to go into a project, a situation where such projects have made losses. So I want to edit there and say that there are important things that we need to deliberate upon as a country so that our country becomes better.